Today's news highlights. Date March 11, 2025. News highlights. Platform X recently removed thousands of accounts suspected of being linked to the Chinese Communist Party, which had vigorously reposted articles about the New York Times attacking Shen Yun, showing signs of mass bots. Experts pointed out that this may be a cyber attack launched by the CCP, using fake accounts to control public opinion. After receiving the report, Platform X blocked most of the suspicious accounts. The analysis found that most of these accounts have very few followers and specialize in posting anti-Falun Gong content, showing that they operate under control. Experts warn that the CCP's use of social media to influence international public opinion poses a threat to free speech. News highlights. Greenland is holding parliamentary elections, with 31 seats being contested by 5 political parties and 70% of pro-independence parties polled. The site is rich in rare earths, pure water, and fishery resources, and its strategic value has increased as the ice has shrunk. The United States, China, and Russia are competing for influence, and the United States, worried about the expansion of the Chinese Communist Party, has proposed to buy Greenland. The extension of the Arctic route has made the region a geopolitical hotspot. The U.S. Congress emphasized the importance of Greenland's confrontation with China and Russia, and focused on its future direction. News highlights. For the first time, the U.S. Air Force has labeled 2 drones as fighter jets, symbolizing a new era in air combat. The XQ-67A and YFQ-44A will serve as loyal wingmen to assist the F-22 and F-35 in their missions and will be ready this summer. These low-cost unmanned fighters will help counter the threat of the Chinese Communist Party in the Indo-Pacific, and the U.S. military plans to order more than 100 of them within 5 years. The Air Force stressed that this program is critical to future air superiority and technological innovation. News highlights. TSMC announced an additional $100 billion investment in the United States to expand wafer manufacturing and advanced packaging capacity, which will affect the stock price and cause legal person disagreements in the short term. Some analysts believe that this move will help reduce the risk of tariffs, and they are still optimistic about the AI trend and semiconductor demand in the long run. Although the expansion in the US will affect gross margins, TSMC still has a competitive advantage through price adjustments and production efficiency improvements. Investment plans are subject to multiple approvals and need to be implemented in at least 3 to 5 years, and long-term development is still attracting market attention. News highlights. Canada's new Prime Minister Carney advocated a reciprocal tariff in response to Trump's tariff policy, and promoted trade diversification to reduce dependence on the United States. Taiwan, for its part, has responded to tariff risks by increasing U.S. investment, expanding energy imports, promoting supply chain shifts, and deepening trade agreements. For example, Taiwan plans to buy U.S. natural gas and develop its space industry to balance bilateral trade. Overall, Taiwan has adopted a multifaceted approach to mitigate the shock, and these measures can serve as a reference for other countries. News highlights. At the 2025 China National People's Congress and the National People's Congress, Li Shifu, chairman of Geely Holding, warned that the new energy vehicle industry will fall into vicious competition due to involution, leading to price wars that will drag down profits. He proposed the 5 moves against involution to replace the price war with technology, quality, service, brand, and moral warfare. The Chinese government also emphasized in the work report that it will rectify involution, encourage technology and capital to go overseas, open up new markets, and get rid of the dilemma of low-price competition. News highlights. Taiwan stocks fell 116 points to close at 22,459 points on the 10th due to TSMC's loss of 1,000 yuan. The market is volatile due to the uncertainty of Trump's tariffs and sluggish economic data, and the legal person expects the short-term range to be between 22,359 and 23,200 points, and it will not turn until the tariff issue becomes clear on April 2. News highlights. U.S. President Donald Trump said that tariffs and trade policies could have an economic shock and did not rule out a possible recession this year. U.S. stocks continued to sell on the 10th, and the Dow Jones fell nearly 400 points at one point. The U.S. 2-year Treasury yield fell sharply, signaling concerns about economic stagnation. Commerce Secretary Lutnick stressed that the U.S. economy will not recession and expects a boom in the next 2 years, but also acknowledged that some tariffs will trigger inflation. News highlights. The Federal Bank, 2838, announced that it intends to distribute a dividend of 1.05 yuan per share, a record high and an increase of 16.6% over last year. The cash dividend was RMB 0.35 per share, an increase of 75% over the previous year. The stock dividend was 0.7 yuan per share, the same as last year. The dividend payout ratio is over 88%. In 2024, the consolidated net profit after tax of the Federal Bank will be 5.277 billion yuan, an annual increase of 18%, and the net profit after tax per share will be 1.18 yuan, a record high. The special dividend is proposed to distribute a cash dividend of 2.630625 yuan per share. News highlights. Marriage is not only about feelings, but also about property and the law, and has a profound impact on the family business. The experts made 3 recommendations. 1. Conclude a prenuptial agreement early to clarify the distribution of property. 2. Choose an appropriate property system to reduce the impact of marital variables. 3. Divorce by mutual agreement to reduce the risk. Family businesses should use a closed company or trust mechanism to manage assets, and plan for minor children's assets in advance to ensure the stability of family and personal assets. News highlights how Ms. Lee, who has a double master's degree and 31 years of banking experience, became a victim of fake investment scams. While watching TikTok, she was attracted to a fake financial celebrity and joined a line investment group called Fortune Star. The fake investment projects and lively conversations in the group made her mistakenly believe that it was a legitimate investment opportunity, and then invested a lot of money, and finally lost 32 million yuan. Experts pointed out that the methods of fraud are becoming more sophisticated, and the design of fake celebrity short videos and apps makes it difficult for people to easily identify, reminding the public to be vigilant and thoroughly understand the methods of fraud. News highlights Zheng Shuang became famous for starring in Let's Watch the Meteor Shower, but was banned due to surrogacy abandonment and tax evasion. A photo of her and the wealthy Ye Yanwei circulated on the internet, and it was revealed that Zheng Shuang was a junior for a green card. After Zheng Shuang denied it, the internet celebrity aka accused her of being Ye Yanwei's junior and broke the news that she was pregnant. Ye Yanwei was also accused of fleeing with money, and this series of incidents sparked heated discussions on the internet. News highlights TSMC announced that it would invest $100 billion to set up a factory in the United States, causing investors to be uneasy. Yang Guanglei, former director of the R&D department, warned that if TSMC takes a stake in Intel, it will face the risk of soaring costs and technology transfer, and reminded investors to sell their holdings immediately. He was worried that the United States might force TSMC to compromise, and pointed out that the United States has key equipment and customers, and American semiconductor company may be formed in the future, which will have an impact on Taiwan. Despite this, he remains confident in TSMC's position in the industry. News highlights a male senior student surnamed Chen of Kaohsiung Medical University was working as a delivery boy during his internship in Taichung, but was hit and killed by a car washer surnamed Wu who was driving drunk without a license. Wu Nan surrendered 2 hours after escaping, and his alcohol test value was 0.37 mg/L. The father of the deceased criticized the frequent problem of drunk driving and questioned that the punishment was too light. Former prosecutor Liu Junja pointed out that the current penalty for drunk driving can be replaced by a fine and imprisonment, and suggested that the law be amended to increase the punishment to curb the recurrence of drunk driving and prevent similar tragedies from happening again. News highlights Shi Jingzhong, a famous doctor in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology of National Taiwan University, recently issued an article, pointing out that an assistant to a legislator had an argument with a doctor when he took a child to see a doctor, and afterwards the legislator issued an official document to reprimand the medical officer. Although some people speculated at the beginning that it was the Blue Committee member Hong Menkai, Taichung City Councilor Zhang Zhaoqiu pointed out that the legislator was actually Luo Tinggui, and criticized Luo Tinggui for having the courage to take responsibility, rather than letting Hong Menkai take the blame. Luo Tinggui has not yet responded, but said that he will hold a press conference today to explain. News highlights artist Wang Delo was recently investigated for desertion and instigating the beating of an Uber driver, and paid bail of 5 million. Numerologist Shen Rong found that Wang Delo has deep karma such as violence, injury, betrayal, self-destruction, and ruined family, and has a relationship with his parents. Wang Delo's father once publicly admonished him to check his life, but he could not avoid his son's controversy. Shen Rong said that Wang Delo's current fortune is extremely poor, and it is difficult to make a comeback in the future, and the royal father is extremely painful in his heart, and his dissatisfaction with his son has reached the extreme. News highlights in the WBC qualifying round, in the crucial battle of the Chinese team against Spain, Spanish third baseman Wander Encarnacion, made 2 consecutive mistakes to give the Chinese team 2 points, and broke down in tears on the field. After the game, he turned off Instagram due to the taunts of Taiwanese fans. However, 2 weeks later, Encarnacion posted on the social platform Threads, "I like Taipei very much," and won the support and respect of Taiwanese netizens, leaving a message encouraging him to come to Taiwan again. Encarnacion has been a stellar performer at Euro 2023 and is a key figure in Spain's triumph. News highlights this winter is unusually cold. Meteorological expert Lindeen pointed out that Taiwan has been hit by a cold air mass from the mainland since November 28, and the temperature has been below 14 degrees for 38 days, a new high in the past 10 years. In addition, the anti-El Niño phenomenon has exacerbated the intensity of northerly winds, causing cold air to move southward frequently, making this winter the coldest in nearly 14 years. As the climate changes, extreme weather events are likely to become more frequent, and disaster awareness and preparedness are needed. News highlights Delta Electric, 2308, said in the 4th quarter of the legal conference that AI and electric vehicle business have become the focus. AI products already account for 10% of revenue, and it is expected to continue to grow vigorously in 2025. The electric vehicle market is still in the doldrums, and Delta's revenue in this field is decreasing, and more time is needed to ferment. In the face of U.S. tariffs, Delta has deployed in Texas ahead of schedule and increased investment. Delta's revenue is at an all-time high, but it still needs to overcome challenges and is committed to maintaining stable growth. News highlights the shortage of nursing manpower in Taiwan is becoming more and more serious, and many nurses have shared that when they go to the association to complete the resignation procedures, the queue has become the norm. Experts point out that the large number of nursing staff leaving reflects the collapse of Taiwan's medical system, which is caused by the structural problems of cheap manpower and dwarfing education. Nurses in Taiwan face poor working conditions, unfair salaries, and low academic qualifications, resulting in the neglect of professional value. This wave of nursing resignations is already a precursor to the collapse of the healthcare system. News highlights Taichung City car washer surnamed Wu drunk driving ran a red light on the 8th, killing a male student surnamed Chen at Kaohsiung Medical University and then fled. Taichung Mayor Liu Zihuan expressed regret and emphasized that drunk driving is a problem in Taiwan, calling for severe punishment. The municipal police department launched a 3-day drunk driving law enforcement, but Chen's mother asked that the law enforcement was insufficient, and called for amending the law and strengthening the prohibition of drunk driving. She said that the prosecution would take time to examine the body and could not bring back her son's body as soon as possible, and she was saddened and hoped that the tragedy would not be repeated. The perpetrator, Wu Nan, has been taken into custody, and Chen's mother feels double heartache for the perpetrators of a similar age. News highlights Mr. Liu, 65, was about to go out to eat his tail teeth when he suddenly felt severe chest pain and fell into a coma, which was later diagnosed with type A aortic dissection. If the disease is not treated, the mortality rate can be as high as 50% within 48 hours. Experts point out that men over 50 years old, people with high blood pressure and smokers are high-risk groups and should be particularly vigilant. The key to preventing aortic detachment is to control the 3 highs, quit smoking, exercise regularly, and have regular health check UPS. If you experience severe chest or back pain, you should seek medical attention immediately. News highlights recently, there has been an online video accusing supermarket bread of fatty acids, glycerides, and maltodextrin, which can be harmful to health. Dietitian Xia Ziwen said that the role of these additives in bread is mainly to improve texture and fermentation, and will not directly cause blood sugar or dyslipidemia. In fact, the problem with supermarket bread comes from the use of high sugar and fat, which can cause a rapid rise in blood sugar and increase the risk of cardiovascular disease. Supermarket bread has its transparent label, consumers can choose healthy options according to the ingredients, and avoid excessive intake of high sugar and high oil bread. News highlights the owner of the Bamboo Union Gang, Michael Hui Ruheng, was detained by prosecutors after Wang Susen's farewell ceremony on suspicion of violating the organized crime ordinance. Hui Ruheng founded the Hung Gran Association and turned into a pastor, but he is still suspected of being behind the gang. Prosecutors accused him of instigating and intimidating wealthy businessmen, illegally making tens of millions of profits, and injuring people in financial disputes. Su Ruheng claimed to have retired from the world, but the police believed that he was still secretly involved and paid bail of 2 million. News highlights the Ministry of Education held a seminar on the 10th to discuss the draft amendment to the principles for the use of mobile vehicles in schools below the senior secondary level. The draft stipulates that mobile vehicles such as mobile phones, tablets and Apple Watch are prohibited during classes, and are kept by the school in a unified manner, and can be flexibly regulated according to special needs. The current regulations only require that the computer be shut down and that non-learning related activities be managed. The order expressed dissatisfaction with the draft and felt that there was a lack of specific regulations, and called on the Education Department to formulate uniform standards, penalties, and guidelines, and to divide them according to age. News highlights last year, a typhoon hit banana producing areas hard, causing serious losses to banana farmers, and the resumption of cultivation period was long, and the current market price of bananas hit a record high of more than 160 yuan per kilogram. Pingdong banana farmers said that the current price of origin is about 105 yuan per catty, and it is expected to be maintained until May, and then the price will decline after the supply is stable. Despite the high price, the banana farmers lamented that there is no price, but they did not actually make money. The Ministry of Agriculture noted that several typhoons had caused banana trees to lodging last year, and dwarf banana varieties were promoted to withstand strong winds. The price of bananas in supermarkets has not risen, and some stores are available in limited quantities. News highlights modern people rely heavily on mobile phones, but filling the iPhone battery to 100% for a long time may accelerate battery aging and affect battery life. Since iOS 13, Apple has introduced the optimized battery charging feature to avoid long full charges, and added a charging limit feature to the iPhone 15 series, allowing users to set a charging limit, which is recommended to be set to 95% to delay battery aging. Experts point out that in addition to charging habits, usage and ambient temperature will also affect battery life, and reasonable use can prolong battery health. News highlights mainland actress Zheng Shuang was banned due to surrogacy and abandonment, and was recently revealed to have dinner with married billionaire Ye Yanwei, suspected of getting a US green card and becoming a junior. The wealthy son, aka, accused Zheng Shuang of being adopted by his father and pregnant, and said that his mother was living in poverty. Zheng Shuang publicly denied the recording. "I won't be a junior." News highlights Stanley Chung, an Asian American teenager from California, USA, excelled academically, scored 1,590 on the SAT, founded an electronic signing platform during high school, and was invited by Google software engineers. However, he was rejected by 16 prestigious schools, and was only admitted to the University of Texas at Austin and the University of Maryland. His father angrily filed a lawsuit, accusing the elite school of being unfair to Asian American students. In 2023, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that racial factors should not be considered in admissions, and the Zhong family decided to sue the relevant universities. Eventually, Stanley accepted the Google position and officially joined in October 2023. News highlights British actor Simon Fisher-Baker passed away on the 9th at the age of 63. The agency confirmed the death, and the agent grieved the loss of a close friend. He is best known for his role as the Hufflepuff house ghost the Fat Friar in the Harry Potter series. The family posted a message confirming the news and said that they would keep their social accounts for the time being, thanking everyone for their concern. News highlights artist Wang Delu was involved in the case of evading military service and instigating gangsters to hurt drivers, and paid bail of 5 million yuan. The Secretary for Service confirmed that he belongs to the General Alternative Service 263 tier and must enter the camp on March 13 and serve for 1 year. The new Taipei District Prosecutor's Office ordered 150,000 yuan to be bailed for the crimes of obstructing military service and forging documents, and was later punished more severely for the crime of assault. The Secretary said that Wang Delu will complete the basic training in accordance with the regulations, distribute the service organs in early April, and if there is a court summons, he must ask for leave to appear in court in accordance with the regulations. News highlights Minister of Economic Affairs Guo Zhihui described the joint venture between TSMC and Intel as Mongolian, which sparked controversy. "Yesterday I bowed and apologized, and today I apologized publicly, emphasizing that I will be cautious in my words and deeds in the future." He explained that the failure to notify the government meant that the investment had not yet entered the administrative review process, rather than being completely uncommunicated. At present, TSMC's case has not yet entered the formal administrative process and is still subject to review by the Investment Review Board. News highlights National Taiwan University physician Shi Jingzhong broke the news that an assistant legislator who was dismissed and co-signed had an argument with the doctor when he took his child to the doctor, and then the legislator actually issued an official document to summon the Director of National Health, the Director of Health Insurance, and the senior management of the hospital to reprimand him. At first, netizens misidentified Kuomintang legislator Hong Menkai, and later Taichung City Councillor Zhang Zhaoqiu identified the protagonist as Kuomintang legislator Luo Tinggui. Luo Tinggui did not respond positively, only restricting the permission to leave comments on the latest Facebook posts, and netizens angrily criticized Dare to do it, and the recall continued to burn. News highlights the Legislative Yuan questioned the General Budget Review Bill, and Kuomintang legislator Fu Kunking bombarded TSMC's investment in the United States, calling it TSMC's exodus, and advocated that TSMC is the KMT's painstaking efforts for more than 40 years, emphasizing that key technologies should not be leaked out, and even said that Taiwan's industries cannot invest abroad. In this regard, Zhou Rongta, the head of the administrative agency, retorted that the Taiwan authorities are optimistic about the global layout of the company, but they must ensure that they stay in Taiwan and maintain Taiwan's leading position, emphasizing that TSMC's establishment of a factory in the United States has been carefully evaluated by the Investment Review Committee, and the key technology and R&D centers will still be dominated by Taiwan in the future. News highlights Sarah Wynne Williams, the former director of global public policy at Facebook, recently broke the news that Meta, formerly known as Facebook, had worked closely with the Chinese government, and even developed content censorship tools specifically for the Chinese government to gain access to the Chinese market. However, Meta responded that the plans involved in the allegations had been reported for a long time, and that the company ultimately failed to reach an agreement with China, stressing that Facebook never officially entered the Chinese market. In addition, Meta also pointed out that Williams was fired as early as 2017 for poor job performance. News highlights internet celebrity Tsai Jimi's remarks that Taiwan is part of China triggered a strong backlash from Taiwanese netizens, causing the number of IG followers to plummet, and was quickly cut by cooperative brands such as L Taiwan. As the turmoil continued to spread, netizens found that she adopted a different narrative on Taiwanese and Chinese social platforms, and the welcome to discussion at the end of the IG film was changed to Taiwan Angelica on China's Xia Hongshu, causing even more controversy. In the face of criticism, she was suspected of being under pressure, quietly turned off the reply function in the IG radio area, and restricted the permission to leave messages on posts, further deepening the outside world's doubts about her double-facedness. News highlights: at the age of 18, Japanese dark actress Rokika Ono was offered 3 different job opportunities: a photo actress, a showbiz idol, and an adult actress. In the end, she chose the adult circle and analyzed the advantages and disadvantages of each industry. She believes that the active cycle of photo idols is short, and the competitive pressure of idol groups is high and the income needs to be shared with other members, so she decided to join the adult world. She developed smoothly on this road, and even became a member of the idol group, achieving her 3 original goals. Raka Ono said that she had no problem with her performance in the idol group at the beginning, and she felt the enthusiastic support of fans, which made her more confident. News highlights: Taiwanese artist Huang Zijiao has been condemned by the society for participating in the Candid Photography Forum Creative Private Room and possessing illegal children's images. After the incident came to light, Wang's wife, Meng Zhengru, downplayed her husband for doing something wrong and shut down social media. The report also revealed the problem of child sexual abuse imagery in the United States and the United Kingdom, with some parents working with websites to trick their children into uploading photos and interacting with pedophiles. The UK has recently introduced new legislation to protect children from harm by increasing penalties for AI-generated child sexual abuse images. News highlights: South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan died at home at the age of 24, and the news attracted attention, especially because she had a relationship with Kim So-hyun. The self-media Hengzi Research Institute broke the news that the two started dating Kim Se-ryan when he was 15 years old and maintained it for 6 years, causing Chinese netizens to question Kim So-hyun as a pedophile. Kim Se-ryan was attacked by public opinion during his relationship with Kim So-hyun, and broke the news that Kim So-hyun's company ignored her, and finally chose to end her life in an extreme way on Kim So-hyun's birthday in 2024. The family provided multiple group photos as evidence of the relationship. News highlights: Shi Jingzhong, a famous doctor in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology of National Taiwan University, broke the news that after the first stage of the dismissal of a certain Blue Committee, because the assistant was dissatisfied with the hospital service with the child, he called the officials of the Ministry of Health and Welfare to the Legislative Yuan to scold him. Netizens once mistakenly thought it was legislator Hong Menkai, and Shi Jingzhong clarified that it was not him. After the incident fermented, Taichung City Councillor Zhang Zhaoqiu blamed Luo Tinggui and demanded that he be held responsible. Luo Tinggui responded that he did not see a doctor at National Taiwan University Hospital, and denied Shi Jingzhong's accusations, saying that the content of his story was bizarre. News highlights: Kuomintang legislator Ye Yuanzi was accused of being a habitual boss a few days ago and tried his best to clarify. According to the exclusive news of Sanli News, Ye Yuanzi reported to the police department in January this year because he was dissatisfied with the progress of the Bangkiao Branch Bureau's uniform selection process, and asked the sub-director to apologize to him. In addition, the police accused Ye Yuanzi of being stern in the Huican illegal parking incident, and also asked to find a sub-bureau chief to let the grassroots police criticize him as a two-faced person. In the face of the accusations, Ye Yuanzi denied exerting pressure and asked the whistleblower to name the accusations. News highlights: mainland male god Wang Yubo recently attended Paris Fashion Week and was invited to participate in the Lacoste show. However, his appearance attracted the attention of netizens, saying that his face was not in good condition, his hairstyle also looked greasy, and his face was puffy and his nasolabial folds were obvious, which was not a small gap with the official retouched photos. Some netizens criticized him for being like a homeless man who mistakenly entered Fashion Week, and said that he became an uncle at the age of 27. Although some viewers think that it may be a problem of angle, Wang Yubo's situation has still become the focus of heated discussions. News highlights: since Jin Rong broke up with diva Jolin Tsai, his acting career has gradually declined, but his popularity as a woman is still undiminished, and most of his dating partners are beauties. A few days ago, he and a high-haired foreign girl were witnessed buying snacks at a supermarket on Linsen North Road in Taipei and going home together. Although Jin Rong's career has not improved greatly, his relationship has always been uninterrupted, and the seamless relationship is surprising. Jin Rong had been in a relationship with Jolin Tsai for 6 years, but they broke up due to different views on married life, and the efforts of career and love continued. News highlights: Wu Kangren went west to Chinese mainland last year to cooperate with Sun Li in Obsession, and was criticized by netizens on both sides of the strait because of his position. In order to avoid controversy, he returned to Taiwan to take over Cao Ruiwen's new work Our Time and kept a low profile. The drama depicts the story of the military village in 1963, and Wu Kangren will cooperate with Zhang Juning and Chen Yuhan. Has been dating Xiao Wei for 5 years, and the two have a stable relationship. Although they have been rumored to be secretly married, they both keep a low profile, and there are few public photos, showing the protection of their private lives. News highlights: Wang Delo has been bailed 5 million yuan for being involved in evading military service and instigating gangsters to beat taxi drivers, and will serve general alternative service in accordance with the law. The Ministry of the Interior said that he was assigned to the General Alternative Service 263 ladder and needed to report to Taipei Railway Station on March 13 and take a bus to Chenggong Ridge in Taichung. If the King Continent is in the south-central region, you can enter the camp by yourself at 14 o'clock in the afternoon of the same day. Wang Delu will receive basic training, and will be sent to the service agency after being drafted for military service in April, and will have a normal work and rest after enlistment, and can ask for leave to appear in court if summoned by the court. News highlights: South Korean love song Prince Hway Sang, 43, was found dead in his Seoul apartment on March 10. Police and fire departments said the body had been apparently dead for some time and no signs of external intrusion had been found at the scene. Hway Sang was originally scheduled to hold a joint concert with singer KCM on the 15th, but the news of his death came out 5 days before the concert. The last post was on March 6, when he shouted to fans "See you" after losing weight on March 15. The agency confirmed that he had suffered a cardiac arrest in his home and was pronounced dead. News highlights: Liu Yifei and 55-year-old Hawaii executive Yu Chengdong have interacted frequently in recent days, causing romance speculation. The two follow each other on Weibo, and on Women's Day, Yu Chengdong shared videos related to Yellow Rose on Weibo and blessed fans, and Liu Yifei liked it, making the outside world speculate whether there is love development. Although some netizens were surprised and speculated that it might be an endorsement cooperation, industry insiders pointed out that it may only be an endorsement, and there is not much need to speculate. Yu Chengdong and Liu Yifei are 18 years apart, and the two are highly well known in the business and entertainment industries respectively. News highlights: netizens posted on the internet that compared with Huang Zijiao's incident, the situation of Big Tooth is more worthy of attention. Since the incident, Big Tooth's exposure has dropped significantly, while Chen Jianzhou's reputation, black, does not seem to have suffered much. Netizens believe that Dia has not received due support and benefits financially, and it is no wonder that no one dares to come forward to accuse the perpetrators. Dia responded that he had not received an apology from Chen Jianzhou, and quoted Sophia, the whistleblower in Wang's case, as expressing his helplessness at hurting the past and calling on society to pay more attention to gender autonomy and physical boundaries. News highlights: the merger of Taishan Gold and Shinkong Gold is coming to an end, and the FSC is expected to finalize the case in the second quarter, and the financial industry expects that the life insurance industry will be integrated in 2026 and usher in the next wave of consolidation. The merger between Yushin Gold and Nanshan Life Insurance is seen as a potential two-mountain merger which, if realized, would make Yushin Gold the third largest financial holding and facilitate the IPO of Nanshan Life. However, life insurance executives pointed out that there are still practical challenges such as unions and management adaptation to achieve this merger. The financial holding industry is moving towards the 2.0 era, and the future will be full of competition and opportunities. News highlights: TSMC's share price continued to fall on the 11th, once falling to 963 yuan, a new low in more than 5 months, and its market value fell below 25 trillion yuan to 24.97 trillion yuan. Foreign analyst L Using Z posted on Facebook to provide an entry strategy, believing that if the stock price falls below 1,000 yuan, the market will see it as a signal that the long-term gross profit margin will be dragged down, and it may not be able to stop the decline in the short term. He suggested that a drop below $900 would be more attractive, while $800 would be a valuable low. He also pointed out that if the trend of ADR no longer affects Taiwan stocks, it is an indicator worth watching. News highlights: in 2025, technology stocks will face a difficult situation, with the market value of the Tech 7, Apple, Nvidia, Tesla, etc., evaporating by $759 billion in a single day. Tesla fell the most, but Apple and Nvidia lost even more, wiping $174 billion and $139 billion, respectively. The market is worried about the impact of Trump's tariffs, recession, and AI investment. Investors are anxious about policy changes in the coming months, but analysts note that the long-term AI revolution remains attractive despite short-term uncertainty. U.S. Treasury prices rose, with yields falling to 4.22%. News highlights: after the start of Trump's second term, the billionaires who attended the inauguration shrank sharply. The fortunes of 5 billionaires, including Elon Musk, Bezos, Brin, Zuckerberg, and Arnott, have shrunk by a total of $209 billion. Despite initial expectations of gains from Trump's policies, the S&P 500 has fallen 6.4% since Trump took office, as stocks have underperformed due to policy effects such as tariffs and firings. The market value of the companies owned by these billionaires has also evaporated by $1.39 trillion. News highlights: former Vice Defense Minister Chen Yongkang analyzed the possibility of China's military reunification with Taiwan in a recent military push. He believes that despite China's threats against Taiwan, the chances of war are actually low. The main reasons include, TSMC's supply chain is spread all over the world, and war will hurt everyone. Shanghai's Yangshan port is vital to China's economy, and the war will frustrate the Belt and Road Initiative. The sandy beaches off the west coast of Taiwan are no longer suitable for amphibious landings. In addition, Taiwan needs to strengthen its energy resilience and maritime communications security to counter gray zone threats. News highlights U.S. President Donald Trump's announcement of 25% tariffs on copper, aluminum, and steel aimed at rebuilding U.S. raw material productivity has sparked a surge in copper prices. Chile, Canada, and Mexico will be the biggest victims. Copper demand continues to rise as demand for electric vehicles, power grids, and AI data centers grows. Taiwanese companies such as First Copper and Valsin Lua will benefit, with bullish copper prices and energy transition and technological development continuing to drive the market. First Copper's performance turned into a profit, and copper prices are expected to continue to rise in the future, benefiting from demand for electric vehicles and semiconductors. News highlights Kuomintang legislator Ye Yunzi was recently exposed to pressure the police, demanding that the case be solved quickly, and accused the head of the Itabashi Sub-Bureau to apologize to him for this. Ye Yunzi personally denied the rumors, emphasizing that he was just greetings, not the protagonist of the incident. The incident originated from a complaint from a resident that the computer was stolen and the case was unsolved. Ye Yunzi reported the problem to the police station, and later the Bang Kiao sub-chief invited him to a dinner party and greeted the locals. The sub-bureau chief stressed that the atmosphere of the dinner was pleasant and that there was no pressure or reconciliation, but he was transferred soon after, which caused concern. News highlights U.S. stocks plunged as U.S. President Donald Trump refused to rule out a recession, with the Nasdaq tumbling 4%. Legal entities expect that this may affect the performance of Taiwan stocks, and pay attention to the upcoming interest rate meeting of the Federal Reserve. Taiwan stocks fell 116.92 points on the 10th, and TSMC lost the 1,000 yuan level. In terms of corporate financial reports, the performance of Juju and Merida increased, China Airlines hit a new high, Telecom Sanction performed steadily, Huachin Motors profit increased significantly, and the revenue of Panel Double Tiger AUO and Inolux increased. News highlights a cleaning team member surnamed Jin in Xinyi Township, Nantou County, was involved in a car accident on the evening of the 10th, and when driving a garbage truck on the way back, he crashed into the head of the Aguo Bridge and fell about 30 meters under the bridge. At that time, the fire brigade dispatched 20 police officers to the rescue and successfully rescued the driver, but found that he had a strong smell of alcohol, and the preliminary alcohol test showed more than 1 milligram. According to the regulations of the Nantou Xinyi Township Office, the cleaning team members will conduct an alcohol test before driving, and record the evidence, and the alcohol test results of the cleaning team member surnamed Jin at that time showed that there was no alcohol reaction, and it is speculated that he may have caused the accident after drinking alcohol while on duty. The police and the township office will continue to investigate and discipline the team member. News highlights Taiwan's largest scalper ticket seller surnamed Liu and his wife were recently sued by the Beijing Procuratorate. The couple made a profit of tens of millions of yuan for selling scalper tickets, lived a luxurious life, often traveled abroad and stayed in 5-star hotels. The suspect surnamed Liu was a tutor, and his wife was his student. According to reports, the husband and wife are strong believers in fortune-telling, and some fortune tellers have predicted that they will face a lawsuit over scalping tickets. In order to avoid tracing, they set up multiple breakpoints to conceal their whereabouts, deliberately used multiple mobile phones and messaging apps to hide their identities, and even deleted conversation logs. But in the end, it was still seized by the prosecutors, and the luxury and secret methods in the life of the husband and wife could not escape the law after all. The suspect, surnamed Liu, is currently facing a 7-year prison sentence sought by the prosecution. News highlights recently, a number of Taiwanese artists have expressed their support for the statement Taiwan Province of China, which has caused controversy. Chu Chuicheng, chairman of the Mainland Affairs Council, strongly condemned it, called for stopping the undermining of Taiwan's national sovereignty, and stressed that Taiwan is a sovereign and independent state. Chu pointed out that a small number of artists cooperated with the CCP's United Front for personal interests, harmed Taiwan's interests, and made the majority of the Taiwan people disgusted and ashamed, and will investigate whether it is illegal in accordance with the regulations on cross-strait people's relations. News highlights artist Wang Delo was suspected of evading military service and instigating gangsters to beat taxi drivers, and recently paid 5 million yuan on bail, but he still needs to serve general alternative service in accordance with the law. The Ministry of the Interior said that because Wang Delo did not meet the conditions for deferred recruitment or deferred conscription, he would report from Taipei Railway Station on the 13th as originally planned and go to Qinggongling in Taichung to participate in alternative service training. At the end of the training, he will be distributed to the service without special courtesy, and will appear in court according to the regulations during the service. News highlights South Korean actress Kim Se-ryan recently passed away, which has sparked controversy about her and Kim So-hyun. According to YouTuber Hengzi Research Institute, Kim Se-ryan had been in a relationship with Kim So-hyun for 6 years, and accused Kim So-hyun and his agency of bullying Kim Se-ron, especially after her drunk driving incident. Kim So-hyun's agency vehemently denied and said it would take legal action, saying the allegations were completely false. In addition, the Horizontal and Vertical Research Institute once again spoke out, questioning the moral issue of Kim So-hyun not attending Kim Se-ron's funeral. News highlights the annual event of Emperor Yesheng, the birthday of the Xiantian god, in Ludong Town, Yulan County, attracted a large number of people to participate. This year's table booking event opened with 500 tables, and it was sold out on the first day of opening for registration. In order to choose their favorite dishes first, the table bookers even queued up overnight, and the queuing scene was very lively. People bring their own chairs and food and wait together. The event was half the market price per table, attracting a large number of people to participate and promote Yulan's local cuisine. News highlights artist Wang Delu recently caused controversy due to evading military service and instigating beatings, and paid bail of 150,000 yuan and 5 million yuan respectively. Wang Delu will enlist in the army on the 13th to serve as an alternative service, and will report at the North 2nd Gate of Taipei Railway Station at 9 a.m. on the same day, and then take a special bus to Chenggong Ridge. According to the regulations, Wang Delu must serve 1 year of substitute service, and will participate in 26 days of basic training, no special treatment, normal work, and rest in classes. If summoned by the court, he can ask for leave to appear in court in accordance with the law. News highlights TSMC announced that it would invest an additional $100 billion in the United States and transfer high-end technology and R&D centers, which caused questions from former Zhongguang chairman Zhao Xiaokong. In a Facebook post, he asked President Lai whether he agreed with TSMC's investment decision, and accused Wei Zhijia of whether he should prosecute without the government's consent, and even questioned whether he had committed the crime of foreign invasion. He stressed that TSMC is regarded as the protector of the country, but has not received any security guarantees, and recalled that in the past, Formosa Plastics has been retained in Taiwan under the government's heavy-handed measures, and is unhappy with the status quo. News highlights retired Major General Li Zhenjia accused President Lai King's son of hiding in the United States and not returning to Taiwan to serve as a soldier on the program, but La's lawyer sent a letter demanding an apology and pointed out that this was untrue. Li Zhenjia said that he spoke without verification, and promised to clarify the matter on the show. Netizens have discussed this matter, and some people think that the president should personally explain whether his son is a soldier. Lai King once stressed that his 2 sons have no American citizenship, but this issue is still often the focus of questions from the outside world. News highlights a few days ago, military fans photographed the Jingguo fighter carrying an air-launched Xidongfeng 3 supersonic anti-ship missile, which attracted attention. Liu Diun introduced in the program that the Xidongfeng 3 missile has 3 solid-fuel rockets and 1 ramjet engine, and pointed out that the fuel pump of the key component has always been a research and development problem and cannot be purchased at present. Since the 60s of the Republic of China, the Chinese Academy of Sciences has been committed to the research and development of ramjet engines, and has successfully solved the problem of heat-resistant materials in high-temperature and high-pressure environments. Liu stressed that the speed of the Xidongfeng 3 is classified, the range is about 150 kilometers, and the missile will fly close to the sea, which is a detail that makes it difficult for opponents to guess. News highlights the Huadong Rift Valley Scenic Area Management Office recently shared 2 shocking facts on Facebook, which made many netizens discuss it enthusiastically. First of all, the first point, Taitung is more southern than Tainan, is relatively unsurprising, because there are Kaohsiung and Pingtung below Tainan. However, the second point, that Taipei is more east than Taitung, surprised many people. This is because people often used to think of Taiwan's coastline as a north-south direction, but in fact, the direction of the east coast is north-northeast to south-southwest. So Taipei is located on the east side of Taitung, which is not easy to notice. This discovery made netizens express surprise, and some even said that it was like the situation where the North Port is in the south and the South Port is in the north. There are also insiders who explain that the extreme east point is actually located in the northeast corner, and the westernmost point of Taiwan is the Kigu National Holy Lighthouse in Tainan. News highlights Wu Kangren signed a contract with a mainland brokerage company last year, which sparked heated discussions among netizens on both sides of the strait. Although he shouted blessings to splendid China on the National Day, he did not receive a positive response from mainland netizens, but was ostracized, and aroused dissatisfaction among Taiwanese netizens. In order to avoid another controversy, Wu Kangren has quietly returned to Taiwan and is expected to start filming a new film in April. Director Cao Ruiwen also encouraged him not to forget his roots in Taiwan and continue to pay attention to the local performing arts industry. News highlights: to enhance the security of your Line account, you should turn off the following 6 options. 1. Turn off Join Friends and allow friends to be added to prevent strangers from joining automatically. 2. Turn off Allow you to join friends with your ID to protect your privacy. 3. Disable external application access to avoid personal information leakage. 4. Turn off Allow login from other devices to reduce the risk of account secrets. 5. Turn off Show message content to avoid data leakage. 6. Turn off provision of usage data to prevent personal behavior from being recorded. News highlights: an explosion occurred in Cheongdam-dong, Gangnam-gu, Seoul, South Korea, on the morning of the 11th. A gas explosion is suspected to have occurred on the 8th basement floor of a newly built local shopping mall, resulting in minor and serious injuries to 3 male workers in their 50s at the scene, two of whom suffered leg injuries and burns all over their bodies, and the other had first-degree burns on his face. After receiving the report, the fire authorities urgently dispatched 64 team members and 9 fire trucks to the rescue. News highlights: former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte was arrested at the Manila airport on Tuesday after returning from Hong Kong and taken to the National Police Headquarters. The arrest is linked to an International Criminal Court, ICC, investigation into alleged crimes against humanity during Duterte's war on drugs. Police said the arrest was carried out by the Presidential Palace's Special Envoy for Transnational Crime, and Duterte expressed displeasure but did not resist. Interpol has issued a red notice against him, saying that he is being wanted worldwide on criminal charges. News highlights: South Korean actress Kim Se-ran unfortunately passed away on the 16th of last month at the age of 24. His aunt recently accused Kim So-hyun of partnering with others to force Kim Se-ran to commit suicide on the YouTube show Hengzi Research Institute, and mentioned that Kim So-hyun's agency demanded that Kim Se-ran repay 700 million won in compensation. Kim Se-ran was fired from Gold Medalist Entertainment for a drunk driving accident and was in trouble after receiving a notice of repayment. Mr. Kim's agency vehemently denied the allegations and said it would take legal action. News highlights: Chinese actress Liu Yifei and Huawei chairman Yu Chengdong are rumored to be in a relationship, and because the two Weibo are close to each other, it has caused speculation that she will take over Huawei's endorsement. Some netizens pointed out that Liu Yifei uses Huawei mobile phones and has cooperated with Yao Anna, the youngest daughter of Huawei founder Ren Zhenfei. Although Liu Yifei is an American citizen, this relationship has sparked criticism from Chinese netizens, who believe that it is inappropriate for Huawei to choose an American spokesperson. Industry insiders said that Liu Yifei's endorsement cooperation is mainly a commercial promotion method. News highlights: Kei Chinfa, the father of former People's Party chairman Kei Wenz, recently passed away from illness, and Kei Wenz was allowed to escort the funeral and participate in the farewell ceremony without handcuffs and leg irons. Huang Xixian, a media person, criticized this, saying that Kei Wenz enjoyed privileges, and pointed out that Kei Wenz was able to use the funeral as an excuse to lift the ban on seeing and meet with his family in detention, which is in stark contrast to Chen Shui-bian's situation. Mr. Huang questioned Mr. Ko's preferential treatment in the judiciary and accused Taiwan's political media of being morally corrupt. News highlights: the Central Election Committee announced that Kuomintang legislator Chu Zhenjun and non-party legislator Chen Xiaoming had passed the first phase of joint signatures, and so far there have been 34 cases of recall of the Blue Committee. According to the analysis of senior media person Zhao Xiaokong, it is expected that 5 Green Committee members will enter the second level of signatures, but at least 20 to 30 legislators of the KMT will pass the second level. He believes that the DPP will be watching from the sidelines, and the KMT will face a general election battle, so it should think about whether to fully confront the DPP or defend it. News highlights: Kei Wenz's father, Kei Chinfa, held a farewell ceremony on the 10th, and political celebrities such as former President Chen Shui-bian, Ma Ying-jeou and Han Kuo-yu were present to pay their respects. People's Party legislator Zhang Kekai revealed in the show that Han Yu showed a heartwarming gesture in private, arrived at the scene in advance and accompanied Kei Wenz's family, and especially told Kei's mother to take care of her body and show sincere friendship. News highlights: U.S. President Trump said in an exclusive interview with Fox News that the United States is in a period of economic transition and may face a recession, which caused panic in the market and caused U.S. stocks to fall heavily on the 10th. The Nasdaq fell 4% and the Dow Jones Industrial Average plunged nearly 900 points. Technology stocks such as Tesla and Nvidia also fell sharply. Trump did not speak publicly, and a White House spokesman responded that Trump's policies would promote jobs and investment growth, and emphasized America first. However, experts are concerned that its tariff policy will push up inflation and affect economic growth. News highlights: Liu Yifei had a low-key relationship in the past, and the only public relationship was with Song Chengxian. Recently, her interaction with Yu Chengdong, a senior Huawei executive, has sparked speculation. The two interacted frequently on Weibo, especially when Yu Chengdong posted Women's Day wishes. Liu Yifei liked it, making netizens suspect that the two might be in a relationship. However, some industry insiders pointed out that Liu Yifei may be Huawei's spokesperson, and these interactions may only be related to endorsements. News highlights: the well-known fashion brands United Colors of Benetton and Sisley are about to fully withdraw from Taiwan and hold a clearance auction, with a minimum of 2% off clothing, and the event will be held until March 31st. Taiwan's official website and Facebook fan page have been closed, and only Korean and Indian websites are currently available in Asia. Founded in Italy in 1965 and entered Taiwan in 2007, Benetton once owned 50 stores, but today only a few are in operation. News highlights: South Korean actress Kim Se-ran died in February, and the inside story recently broke out. Kim Se-ran's aunt accused Kim So-hyun and Kim Se-ran of dating since 2015, when Kim Se-ran was only 15 years old and involved in a minor turmoil. Kim Se-ran once posted a photo with Kim So-hyun in March 2024 and quickly deleted it, and the aunt said that Kim So-hyun had paid 700 million won in compensation for Kim Se-ran, but then asked her to pay it back. Kim Sa-ron originally planned to make their relationship public, but in the end it failed to materialize, and before her death, she attempted suicide because of the ridicule of her on the internet. News highlights the question of whether Lee King's son was a soldier has sparked controversy, and People's Party legislator Zhang Kekai and retired General Lee Zhenjie have publicly questioned it. Lee Zhenjie said on the program that Lee King's son hid in the United States and did not return to Taiwan to serve as a soldier, which caused a reaction from the DPP. Lee King appointed a lawyer to send a lawyer's letter, demanding that Lee Zhenjie publicly clarify and apologize within 7 days, saying that his remarks were untrue and that if he did not comply, he would file a lawsuit. This incident aroused the attention of netizens, and some people expressed doubts about Lee King's lawsuit, believing that this was an issue that could be publicly commented. News highlights on the 11th, a female live broadcaster was hacked to death in Tokyo, Japan. When the female voice actress in her 20s was live streaming on the side of the road, she was attacked by a male fan in her 40s with a knife. According to netizens, the suspect has repeatedly claimed to lend 1 million yen, about NT $220,000, to the best love, but the other party has not repaid the loan, and has threatened to do something to her if she continues not to repay the money. AI screams for help during the live stream and loses her life before the stream is closed. The incident attracted widespread attention, and the suspect was subsequently arrested by the police. News highlights Shi Jingzhong, an obstetrician and gynecologist at National Taiwan University, broke the news that a certain legislator was dissatisfied with the Child Development Screening Service of National Taiwan University Hospital, and convened a meeting of the Director of National Health, the Director of Health Insurance, and the Vice President of the hospital through an official letter and criticized him. Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, City Councillor Zhang Zhaoqiu pointed out that the legislator was Luo Tinggui of the Kuomintang. Luo Tinggui held a press conference to refute, saying that due to receiving complaints from parents, he found that NTU Hospital did not implement screening services, and criticized the National Construction Agency for not supervising the implementation of the policy. He stressed that he had not acted inappropriately and demanded clarification of the truth. News highlights according to the news, after the death of South Korean actress Kim Sa-ron in February, a woman who claimed to be her aunt accused Kim So-hyun of having been in a relationship with Kim Se-ron for 6 years and was involved in the underage controversy. The aunt said that Kim Se-ron had posted a photo of his face before his death and quickly deleted it, which was suspected to be due to the other company's request for repayment of 700 million won in compensation, which caused psychological pressure. She originally planned to make her past relationships and demands public, but in the end, she was unable to implement them. The family revealed that Kim Se-ron had been under great pressure due to public opinion in the outside world before his death, and he had several emotional breakdowns. News highlights how Shae-eun and his wife Lin Ning-grui ushered in a new life, and the family of 4 was full of happiness and touching. Lin Ning-grui's post revealed full of maternal love, and how Shae-eun's message hard work also showed his love and gratitude to his wife. Many netizens noticed the pink buckles on the baby's feet and speculated that it was the little princess, but the couple has not officially announced their gender. In any case, I wish this new life a healthy and happy growth, and I wish this couple happiness. News highlights South Korean YouTube channel Hengzi Research Institute broke the news that Kim So-hyun had been in a secret relationship with Kim Se-ron for 6 years, and the woman dated when she was 15 years old, and accused his agency of forcing Kim Se-ron to death. Kim So-hyun denied the allegations, stressing that legal action would be taken. Netizens found out that he had said in the past that he hopes to marry a 20-year-old girl at the age of 41, which caused controversy. Kim Se-ron's death on February 16, which coincided with Kim So-hyun's birthday, made the incident even more sensitive. Public opinion is fermenting, and the truth of the incident still needs to be clarified. News highlights Japanese actress Mai will divorce Wang Quanran of Formosa Plastics Group in 2023, and will return to the showbiz after resuming the single, and recently posted a photo with the man in the community, revealing that she has known each other for 24 years, and recalled the days of filming locations in the past. Netizens recognized the man as Lo's Hixiong and left messages memory kill. Mai praised the other party's frozen age and hashtaged youth, but hurriedly clarified no for the new boyfriend speculation. News highlights after Jin Rong broke up with Jolin Sai, his career development was mediocre, but his love life was still rich, and he had relationships with many beautiful women. Recently, he was witnessed appearing in a supermarket late at night with a high-ranking foreign girl, and the two chatted while shopping and interacted intimately. After the woman shopped, the two returned to the mansion together, showing that the relationship was not ordinary. In the past, Jin Rong had a relationship with mixed-race internet celebrities and Korean-American actresses Kirsten Lee, etc., and now he has returned to Taiwan to develop his acting career, and his peach blossom luck is still thriving. News highlights the Central Election Committee announced that a total of 34 legislators have been approved in the first phase of the recall and signature, all of which are pan-blue legislators, and there is also one case of county mayor, Gao Honggan, and 2 cases of recall of county and city councillors. Zhao Xiaokong believes that in the end, 5 DPP legislators may enter the second-order joint signature, but the KMT is afraid that 20 to 30 people will pass the test, which will put the blue camp in a predicament. He called on the Kuomintang to think carefully about countermeasures so as not to suffer a total setback. The Kuomintang denied discussing the possibility of a cabinet overthrow and a full re-election. News highlights. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump has expressed his willingness to visit China to his advisors, but has not yet made a formal decision. If the visit takes place, it will be the first China-US summit since Trump returned to the White House, and it may touch on major issues such as trade, technology competition, geopolitics, and the Taiwan Strait. News highlights. The Kuomintang proposed the draft regulations on the excessive taxation of taxes and the sharing of cash by the whole people, which advocated a universal cash payment of 10,000 yuan, which has passed the first reading of the legislature. According to an online poll, about 72% of netizens support this proposal. The Controller General of the Ministry of Finance said that if the regulations are passed, cash can be disbursed as soon as August. However, scholars point out that careful consideration should be given to avoid excessive fiscal pressure. News highlights. Retired Major General Li Zhenjia mentioned in a political discussion program that President Li Qing's son was hiding in the United States and not being a soldier, which caused controversy. Li Qing appointed a lawyer to send a letter demanding an apology from Li Zhenjia, accusing him of making untruthful remarks. Netizens reacted strongly to this, criticizing the president for using legal means to put pressure on the people. Li Zhenjia responded that he would clarify on the show, but admitted that he spoke without verification. Li Qing did not directly respond to the question of whether his son was a soldier. News highlights. Xi Jinping, a famous doctor, recently issued an article pointing out that a certain legislator was suspected of playing official power, and asked the Director of Health Insurance and others to hold a meeting and scold, and the outside world initially guessed that it was Hong Menkai. Democratic Progressive Party Taichung City Councillor Zhang Zhaoqiu broke the news that it was Luo Tinggui. Luo Tinggui responded, emphasizing that the day was only to coordinate the policy issues of the National Taiwan University Children's Hospital, and clarified that the two directors did not attend the meeting, denying that they had played official power or insulted officials. He questioned the inconsistency between the online revelations and the real situation, and accused someone of deliberately smearing them. News highlights. Kuomintang legislator Ye Yuanzi recently responded to media revelations, accusing him of playing official power on grassroots police and pressuring the police station to remove the sub-chief. He vehemently denied the allegations, saying that as an opposition legislator and not in the Internal Affairs Committee, he had no authority to pressure the transfer of police officers. He pointed out that the so-called dinner story was only an invitation by the sub-director, and there was no pressure or recall request. He denounced the media reports as baseless and demanded concrete evidence to support the allegations.